This is Goku's son, DBZ, and welcome back for a new album review. This is only my fourth ever album review, so I hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy the music in the background you hear. That is music from an incredible game called Aura and the Blind Forest. But let's get with this album review. I've chosen instead this time to review a alternative rock album. And album of choice, I decided to choose one of my personal favorite alternative pop albums. From my all-time favorite, probably favorite British pop band, and general maybe favorite pop artist of all time. In the earlier days, they were more crossover pop rock and became more pop and more techno and stuff now. But nevertheless, this is a really good top-notch alternative album. And I am going to be reviewing my favorite, more or less, alternative pop band, that is Coldplay. And I'm going to be reviewing, in my personal opinion, the best album from them so far, easily to date. That is their album that was released in 2008, Viva La Vida, or Death and All His Friends. With that said, we'll start off with track number 1, which is just an instrumental track, but it's a very good way to start off the album, I think, for the most part. It has more of an upbeat sound, though the album as a whole will not be more upbeat. The song or track is called Life in Technicolor. Really good track, a very good instrumental track. Best instrumental they've done, and one of the only instrumental tracks they've ever done. And surprisingly, they're pretty good length career now, spanning about 2 decades, which is hard to believe, in all honesty. But coming in track number 2 is probably, for me personally, maybe easily my top 3 favorite tracks off this entire album, and I like this album as a whole. Track number 2 is called Cemeteries, or rather, of London. But it's a really good track. I personally really enjoy this song. It's relatively short, just under 3.5 minutes long. So a pretty short song compared to some of the other tracks on this album as a whole. I will say, you will definitely like this. If you like the more traditional old school sound from the band, definitely, of Coldplay, I think you will most definitely enjoy this album as a whole. Hands down. Track number 3 is a song I'm more 50-50 with. I don't like it as much as some other people do. Also a relatively short track, just shy of 4 minutes. It's called Lost. Not a bad track overall, I will say, however. Next up we have track named 42. About 4 minutes also, relatively short. In general, a lot of the tracks on this album are not super long, in all honesty. They're more mainstream song length-wise overall. It's one thing I will say about the album as a whole. But nevertheless, another good solid track as well off this album. Coming up next is easily in my top 5 favorite songs off this album. Top 3, not quite sure. But the song is incredible. It's called Lovers in Japan, the region of love. Lovers in Japan is such a good, really enjoyable, upbeat song. I enjoy the song thoroughly. The track total length running time is just shy of 7 minutes. So yeah, it's a little bit longer than some of the other tracks on this, but I don't mind it, and I think it does a well enough job to keep you invested in the track. But then again, this comes from somebody who listens to bands like Dream Theater, which listen to 10 to 20 minute tracks, so 7 minutes isn't exactly a big deal to somebody like me who's been listening to super long songs for a long time. But overall, another very solid track. Coming in number 6 is another song that I like. It's also spans about 7 minutes. It's called Yes. Not a bad track overall. It's a little bit slower as it starts out overall feel and speed wise with the song as a whole compared to versus other songs on this album. So it's a little bit slower, sort of like Cemeteries of London, a slower, more thoughtful feel to it, but I like that. I don't mind that at all. Coming in, track number 7. Easily my favorite track off this entire album, without a shadow of a doubt. And that is the self-titled track, Viva La Vida. This song is amazing, and I'm glad it gets as much respect as it deserves from fellow Coldplay fans. Now, to me, not only is this the best track off this album, for me personally, it's probably my second favorite track from their entire career. The only track that, for me personally, that I like more than this song is The Scientist. But that's the only song I like more. Viva La Vida, second favorite song from Coldplay, favorite off this album. And that was one of the selling points to me on this album originally, was when I first heard the track Viva La Vida. Because it's a very solid, very well executed song. And I just love the instrumental sounds in the song and the music video. I love the music video because it feels like a moving painting. The art style and art direction they used for the music video was very appreciated. I enjoy artists who are willing to go outside the box in their art style, because we have to remember, music is art. That's something greats like von Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin, and many others understood. In modern day, like listen to beautiful music in the background from Aura and The Blind Forest, games like Journey, games like Rhyme rely heavily on the beautiful art of the music, besides the visual art. That's something people don't realize today. A lot of people who listen to music just for beats and stuff, they don't realize bands like Coldplay back in this time period, from like the early 2000s to the mid 2000s, really focused heavily on their music as art form. That's the thing, and I'm afraid a lot of mainstream artists have lost track of. I think at first Coldplay lost their way. I don't like the super heavy influence of techno in their music of now, but to me this is when they were at their pinnacle. Between their first, I'd say, 3 albums was when they were at their best, artistically. But that's just my own personal opinion. And art is subjective, keep in mind. Coming in at number 8 is track number, of course, as I said, 8. Clocks in just under 4 minutes. It's called Violet Hill. Another really good song. Probably my 5th favorite track off this album as a whole. So probably, in my opinion, the 5 best songs off the album are probably at number 1, as I said, Viva La Vida. Number 2 is honestly probably Cemeteries of London. Then maybe Lovers in Japan. Then it's probably Yes, and then Violet City. Track number 9 is called Strawberry Swing. Clocks in just over 4 minutes. The last song is called Death and All His Friends. I never really listened to this song. This was one of the few songs off the album I never really gave too many replays to. I mean, I understand why some people enjoy the song. It's just not as much my cup of tea versus a lot of the other songs on the album. I feel overall, as a whole, the first half of the album is the strongest part of the album. But still, overall, all around, this album is beautiful, awesome, and I think is just very well executed, along with the music videos. This song is a very good piece of art, in my personal view. And being such a big Coldplay fan also, but this is the album that made me a real big Coldplay fan, though I was already a big Coldplay fan from their debut album in like 2000. I was into them before they became super popular, obviously. But, yeah, to me, this was the last album with their traditional sound, before they would start experimenting more with electronica, techno music that they have of nowadays, of course. With that said, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do I give Viva La Vida from Coldplay as a whole? I give Viva La Vida a 9 out of 10. It's a solid, overall, well done, well executed album, and I can't say really, honestly, anything really negative about the album as a whole. So with that said, leave a comment, tell me, are you Coldplay fans? If so, what is your favorite Coldplay album? Or what is your favorite track off of Viva La Vida? But please give this video a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and ever get a chance, if you're into watching, listening to music videos, or rather music reviews, other than me and reviewing comic books and video games and things, check out a fellow YouTuber here on YouTube. Actually, 2 fellow music YouTubers. But they're much more specialized in this field than I do, personally. Rocked is the first one. He does an awesome series called Regretting the Past. And the other one is a fellow YouTuber, and he goes by Cover Killer Nation. You should definitely check out his series. Especially Top 5 Reasons series. They're actually very enjoyable, very good. And I can't wait to hear your top 5 reasons coming in the next day or two of course, Dragon Force. Speaking of, that's one of the next album reviews I'm going to be reviewing. I will be reviewing Dragon Force and their album Inhuman Rampage. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.